Welcome to the Susquehanna-Hudson Rivers February 2026 layout update. Welcome everybody to the February 2026 Susquehanna Way layout update. Well, as far as the layout goes, I've been distracted a lot here lately because I've been dealing with the Alvin Smith collection estate. My friend Alvin passed away last year, and his trustee let me know that everything was finished in probate. It was time to come and get all the stuff that Alvin had willed to me, and that Alvin wished for me to distribute some of it out to different railroad historical societies, and namely the Anthracite Railroad Society. So I've been very busy going back and forth to Maple Ridge, British Columbia, going through Alvin's house, packing up all the things pertaining to his railroad collection, and then after that transporting them all across the border from Canada back here into Washington State. And I am got everything together now, and it's done, but it's a case of next having to go through it and sort it all. I had to go rent a 10 by 10 storage space to put all this stuff into, so that sort of motivates me to get going with it, just because of the monthly charge. So that's been a big project this month, is dealing with Alvin's estate. I'll show you some pictures here of how much stuff I bought across the border. And one of the things that we had to bring, required my son helping me, Brandon, was the bell off the Lackawanna Railroad's Pacific number 1120 that Alvin had acquired after the engine was retired from the Scranton shops. And besides that, layout-wise, the big thing is, this year for Christmas, I kept saying, don't buy me anything, give me a Visa gift certificate so I can get the things I need, not what you think I need, okay? And I was successful. I was able to buy three Tam Valley Hex frog juicers. I got the ones that each could do 6 frogs. So I was able to wire up both ends of Richard's yard using these frog juicers. And oh, what a difference it made in the operations. I'll show you here later on in this video. And next week we're going to be running trains and testing everything, and we'll give them a good shakedown run and make sure everything's good, because as we're doing our countdown to SoundRail, it's just we need now to stop these construction projects and just run trains, find anything defective and fix it on the spot. So that's sort of our plan here for the next week. The SoundRail is only now about 6 weeks out. And that pretty much sums up what we've gotten done this month. So next we'll go around and we'll show you the projects that I worked on and break it down. Oh, one other thing is I did experiment with building a sedimentary rock cut using styrofoam, and I'll show you that. And then I just was doing this first to make sure my ideas would work, and I'll be doing a video on that separately next, showing you how I went about doing it. So now let's go on and around the layout, and let's take a look at what we've done this month. Alvin had an old style low-scale layout up in his attic. Double track circle over the yards, and the ceiling was caving in on it. He hadn't been in there for years. mice droppings all over the place. Just, it was dirty, filthy, and anyways, I had to crawl in there, and I cleaned up the last of what was left in there. This is the view of the locomotives that Alvin had. I think most of these are steam engines. Wires are the old Lombard, I believe it's pronounced, from the 1950s. And the diesels are All Nation. That's a guess on my part. There's no markings on them actually saying what they are. And they have the big old Pitman motors in them. There's about a little over 200 freight cars, about a dozen passenger cars all total. That's the Washington East Tower scratch build model that Alvin made. He had two of those scale Lionel Hudsons. Out in his yard, Alvin had the bell off of Lackawanna Pacific 1120. Had to go out and rent one of these little jackhammer things. My son Brandon Brandon got the bell out of the concrete, and when he finished, this is what it looked like. And I had to rent a 10 by 10 storage unit, and that's all the stuff of Alvin's I got in that storage unit. That's all books, official guides there, and that side. The back there is all photographs, some documents. So it was quite an undertaking there, packing all this stuff up of Alvin's and moving it across the border to the United States. Tam Valley frog juicers are under Richard's yard. This is the one at the west end of the yard. They're so simple to hook up. See the terminal strip on the bottom? I got 6 wires coming out of that, 6 different frogs. Then on the right hand side, 2 wires go into there. Those wires come from the bus. Those wires just come over to here. And they're connected into the bus with the WAGO connectors. One additional thing I have done is I've got these little, I should call them signs. They're wire markers I found on Amazon, and I go around throughout the layout and I'm marking all my bus wires with these signs so I know which bus I'm coming off of, and then all these bus wires are connected to the circuit breakers. So I think it's a handy tip, wiring, taking your wiring and putting these labels on it. I carved a rock wall from styrofoam insulation, the pink stuff. It was pretty simple to do. Once I carved it using a utility knife, got 2 coats of white paint with Liquitex titanium white liquid, and then I took some Tamiya XF1 flat black, a little bit in a bottle, and filled the bottle up with isopropyl alcohol, so probably about 5% paint, 95% alcohol, and I gave it 2 washes with the black. And this is where it's at right now. It needs to come back, have additional colors and detail put into it, but for right now it serves the purpose. And this is the next piece of foam I've got ready here to carve and to complete, and that's where the track is going to go into a tunnel. Just trying to hide all this wiring and everything else that's under the layout here a little bit before SoundRail. And I've got another piece of foam cut over here, ready for me to start to work on. With the Tam Valley frog X juicers in place, engines can now just crawl down this east lead and not stall on any of the frogs. Make quite a difference. Now we can pick up a cut of cars and just crawl down the east lead nice and slow and smoothly. Started doing some work on painting my track. I just want to get some of the track painted before SoundRail, just to blend it in and make things look a little more uniform. And I'm airbrushing the track using Tamiya paints. On the industrial back tracks, I'm giving them the tracks a coat of light gray first. And then over top of the light gray, I'm giving it a wash of my track brown. And it's about 10% paint, about 90% isopropyl alcohol for the wash that I'm spraying on. The main line, I'm doing that in a dark brown without the gray. And that's so that it looks like it's more trafficked, better maintained. As a kid on the East Coast growing up and walking the railroad tracks, the side tracks all had this grayish tint to them. Looking back, I sort of think it probably was from the acid rain we had back in those days. The main line tracks were darker color. And all the sidings and the older yard tracks and things just had this grayish tint to them, as I remember it. Yeah, I'm going to do a separate video on how I painted the tracks and how I mixed the colors. So watch for that shortly. I want to give you an overview of what it looked like after I got done painting the tracks here at Schonersville. I left a lead that's going to go into Fuglesville unpainted on purpose, so you could see that, and the color it is now. From there now we're going to go over to the main track. The main track is painted Thai brown, and then from there we'll go over to the siding tracks. You can compare the color of them to the main, and you can see how much lighter they show. I also painted the sides of the rail with a rail brown rust color. And the switch stands got sprayed also with the mainline tie brown color. Well, that's it for this month, folks. Hope you enjoyed this review of what we've gotten done on the Susquehanna and Hudson River Railway. I got Dave and Lou and Jim helping me, and between the four of us, we've getting a lot done here. And we'll be all ready for SoundRail, and looking forward to it. So remember, we're model railroaders, right? We got the best hobby in the world, right? So let's get out there, let's run some trains, let's build something, let's have some fun. So long until next time.